Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive episode where we dive deep into the shocking moment that had everyone talking. Ricky Gervais being kicked off Loose Women after a fiery confrontation with Denise Welch. It all started innocently enough on the set of the popular daytime talk show, where Ricky, the sharp-tongued comedian known for his no-holds-barred humor, was invited to discuss his latest projects and perhaps share a few laughs. The panel, including the outspoken Denise Welch, seemed ready for a light-hearted chat, but tensions simmered beneath the surface from the get-go. As the conversation kicked off, Ricky wasted no time in launching into his signature style, poking fun at everything from celebrity culture to political correctness, which has always been his bread and butter. Denise, with her passionate views on social issues, didn't hold back either, interjecting with pointed questions that challenged Ricky's perspectives head-on. The audience could feel the air thickening as the exchange grew more intense, with Ricky defending his comedic freedom and Denise accusing him of insensitivity. What began as a civil discussion quickly escalated into a full-blown argument, with voices raised and fingers pointed across the table. Ricky, never one to back down, fired back with witty retorts that left the other panelists stunned, while Denise stood her ground, her face flushing with frustration. The host tried to mediate, but it was clear that the clash was unstoppable, drawing gasps from the live audience who couldn't believe what they were witnessing. As the minutes ticked by, the debate delved into deeper territories, touching on topics like animal rights, which Ricky is famously passionate about, and mental health advocacy, a cause close to Denise's heart. Their differing opinions clashed like thunder, each trying to outmaneuver the other with facts, anecdotes, and sharp one-liners. Ricky recounted stories from his stand-up specials, emphasizing how comedy should provoke thought without boundaries, while Denise shared personal experiences that highlighted the real-world impact of careless words. The back and forth was electric, captivating viewers at home who were glued to their screens, wondering if this was scripted drama or genuine conflict. But as the intensity peaked, things took a turn when Denise directly called out Ricky for what she perceived as crossing a line, leading him to respond with a particularly biting comment that silenced the room. The producers, sensing the segment spiraling out of control, whispered urgently off-camera, but it was too late. The confrontation had reached boiling point. Ricky, feeling cornered, stood up abruptly, his chair scraping against the floor, and declared that he wouldn't sit there and be lectured. The audience erupted in a mix of applause and boos, adding to the chaos. Denise, undeterred, continued her rebuttal even as Ricky made his way toward the exit, microphone still clipped to his shirt. This moment, captured live on air, became an instant viral sensation, sparking debates across social media about freedom of speech versus respect. In the aftermath, fans dissected every word, with some siding with Ricky's unapologetic style and others praising Denise for her bravery. The show issued a statement later, downplaying the incident as passionate discourse, but insiders revealed that tempers flared backstage as well. Ricky took to Twitter shortly after, posting cryptic memes that hinted at his frustration, while Denise addressed the clash on her own platforms, emphasizing the importance of standing up for one's beliefs. This event not only highlighted the unpredictable nature of live television but also underscored the cultural divides that comedians like Ricky navigate daily. As we unpack this further, it's clear that what happened on Loose Women that day was more than just a spat. It was a microcosm of broader societal tensions, where humor meets hypersensitivity in a spectacular collision. The video clips circulated endlessly, amassing millions of views, and even celebrities weighed in, some defending Ricky's right to jest and others supporting Denise's call for accountability. In the end, this confrontation reminded us all that talk shows aren't always about fluffy topics. Sometimes, they ignite real fireworks that leave lasting impressions on everyone involved. Building on the initial shock of Ricky Gervais' dramatic exit from Loose Women following his heated clash with Denise Welch, let's explore the build-up that led to this unforgettable TV moment. Prior to the show, rumors had been swirling about potential friction, given Ricky's history of controversial stand-up routines and Denise's vocal activism on various fronts. When Ricky arrived on set, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation, as the panel prepared to grill him on his latest Netflix special, which had ruffled feathers worldwide. The conversation started tamely, with compliments exchanged and light banter about Ricky's love for animals, but Denise quickly steered it toward more contentious waters, questioning the ethics behind some of his jokes. Ricky, ever the quick-witted debater, countered with examples from his career, explaining how satire serves as a mirror to society's absurdities. As the dialogue intensified, other panelists tried to interject with humor to diffuse the situation, but it only fueled the fire between the two main antagonists. Denise pressed on, citing instances where comedy had harmed marginalized groups, drawing from her own experiences in the entertainment industry. Ricky responded by arguing that censoring humor leads to a slippery slope, referencing historical figures who used wit to challenge norms. The exchange grew personal, with Denise sharing vulnerable stories from her life, hoping to humanize her stance, while Ricky maintained a stoic, almost defiant posture, refusing to apologize for his art. The audience, a mix of fans and casual viewers, reacted with murmurs and occasional laughter, unsure whether to side with the comedian's irrelevance or the panelist's earnestness. Midway through, a commercial break offered a brief respite, but whispers from crew members suggested the producers were debating whether to cut the segment short. Upon returning, the confrontation reignited with even more vigor, as Ricky launched into a monologue about political correctness gone mad, which Denise interrupted with a passionate plea for empathy. Words flew like daggers, with phrases like "you're out of touch" and "that's offensive" echoing through the studio. The host, caught in the crossfire, attempted to redirect to safer topics like Ricky's upcoming projects, but it was futilely. The genie was out of the bottle. As tensions mounted, Ricky's frustration became palpable. His usually calm demeanor cracked, leading to raised voices that drowned out the other voices on the panel. Denise, equally animated, gestured emphatically, her points landing with emotional weight that resonated with parts of the audience. Finally, the breaking point arrived when Ricky, feeling attacked, declared the discussion pointless and removed his mic, signaling his intent to leave. The camera panned to Denise's shocked expression, then to the bewildered host, capturing the raw authenticity of the moment. In the immediate fallout, social media exploded with hashtags like #Ricky vs Denise and #LooseWomenDrama, polarizing opinions across the board. Supporters of Ricky praised his exit as a stand against bullying, while Denise's fans lauded her for holding powerful figures accountable. Media outlets scrambled to cover the story, with headlines blaring about the fiery confrontation that ended in chaos. Ricky later elaborated in interviews, describing the experience as a clash of ideologies rather than personal animosity, though he admitted the intensity caught him off guard. Denise, on the other hand, used the incident to advocate for more respectful dialogues on TV, turning a negative into a platform for positive change. This event not only boosted ratings for Loose Women but also sparked broader conversations about the role of comedy in modern society. As we reflect on it, it's evident that such moments, though uncomfortable, push boundaries and encourage introspection among viewers. The video footage, replayed countless times, serves as a testament to the unpredictable thrill of live broadcasting, where scripted plans give way to genuine human interactions. Delving deeper into the aftermath of Ricky Gervais' stormy departure from Loose Women amid his explosive argument with Denise Welch, the ripples extended far beyond the studio walls. In the hours following the broadcast, Twitter timelines were flooded with clips of the confrontation, edited and memed to amplify the drama, turning a daytime TV segment into overnight viral gold. Ricky, known for his social media savvy, posted a series of tweets that subtly shaded the experience, garnering likes from fellow comedians who rallied behind his free speech banner. Denise, meanwhile, appeared on subsequent episodes to clarify her position, emphasizing that her challenge stemmed from a place of genuine concern rather than malice. The public response was divided. Some viewed Ricky as a victim of overzealous political correctness, while others saw Denise as a hero for confronting what they perceived as harmful rhetoric. Talk shows across the UK and beyond dissected the incident, with experts weighing in on the fine line between humor and hurt. Ricky's fanbase mobilized, creating petitions and fan art that depicted him as a comedic martyr, whereas Denise received messages of support from advocacy groups aligned with her causes. The Loose Women producers faced scrutiny too, with questions raised about guest vetting and on-air moderation, leading to internal reviews on handling contentious topics. As days turned into weeks, the story evolved, with both parties extending olive branches in interviews, Ricky acknowledging Denise's passion, and Denise admitting admiration for his talent. Though disagreements persisted, this reconciliation attempt didn't quell the online debates, which continued to rage in comment sections and forums. Media analysts pointed out how such clashes boost engagement, suggesting the confrontation might have been inadvertently beneficial for all involved. Ricky's career, already robust, saw a surge in streaming numbers for his specials, as curious viewers tuned in to see what all the fuss was about. Denise, leveraging the attention, amplified her mental health campaigns, reaching new audiences who discovered her through the viral clip. The incident also prompted discussions in comedy circles about adapting to changing societal norms, with workshops and panels emerging to explore sensitive topics. On a personal level, Ricky reflected in podcasts about the emotional toll of public confrontations, revealing a more vulnerable side beneath his tough exterior. Denise shared similar sentiments in her writings, discussing the bravery required to speak up on live TV. Together, their stories humanize the event, showing that behind the headlines are real people with real feelings. As the dust settled, Loose Women returned to its regular programming, but with a newfound caution in guest interactions. Viewers, however, craved more such raw moments, indicating a shift toward edgier content in daytime television. This confrontation, in essence, became a case study in media studies classes, illustrating the power dynamics at play in talk shows. Ultimately, it reinforced Ricky Gervais' status as a provocateur and Denise Welch's as a principled voice, ensuring their names remained intertwined in pop culture lore. The video script of this saga wouldn't be complete without noting how it inspired parodies and sketches on late-night shows, further cementing its place in entertainment history. Examining the cultural impact of Ricky Gervais' abrupt ejection from Loose Women after his intense showdown with Denise Welch reveals layers of societal reflection embedded in what seemed like mere TV drama. This incident transcended entertainment, sparking global conversations about the boundaries of comedy in an era of heightened sensitivity. Ricky, with his arsenal of satirical jabs, represented the old guard of unfiltered humor, while Denise embodied the evolving demand for accountability and inclusivity. Commentators from various fields, psychologists, sociologists, and entertainers analyzed the exchange, debating whether it signaled a cultural shift or just a fleeting controversy. In academia, essays emerged exploring the psychology of confrontation, using the clip as a prime example of how differing worldviews collide under pressure. Social media algorithms amplified the divide, pushing content to echo chambers where users reinforced their biases, either vilifying Ricky as insensitive or Denise as overreactive. Celebrities jumped into the fray. Some, like fellow comedians, defended Ricky's right to offend as essential to art, while actors and activists backed Denise's stance on protecting vulnerable communities. The Loose Women team, navigating the backlash, hosted follow-up segments on related themes, inviting experts to foster dialogue rather than discord. Ricky, capitalizing on the buzz, incorporated anecdotes from the incident into his live tours, turning lemons into comedic lemonade that delighted audiences. Denise, undaunted, used the platform to launch initiatives promoting mental resilience in the face of public scrutiny. The event's longevity surprised many, as months later, it still trended during relevant news cycles, like awards shows where Ricky's name surfaced. International media picked up the story, translating it for global audiences who drew parallels to their own cultural debates. In the UK, tabloids ran exclusive features with behind-the-scenes scoops, revealing how the confrontation nearly derailed the show's schedule. Viewers' letters poured in, some expressing disappointment in the handling, others applauding the authenticity. This feedback loop influenced programming decisions, leading to more structured debates on future episodes. On a broader scale, the clash highlighted the role of women in media challenging male-dominated narratives, with Denise's assertiveness praised as empowering. Ricky, in response, engaged in reflective pieces, admitting the need for balance between provocation and compassion. Their indirect dialogue through media continued, fostering a meta-conversation about celebrity conflicts. As time passed, the incident faded from headlines but left an indelible mark on how talk shows approach controversial guests. It also boosted both stars' profiles. Ricky's book sales spiked, and Denise's podcast episodes on the topic garnered record listens. In retrospect, what could have been a forgettable segment became a catalyst for change, encouraging more nuanced discussions and entertainment. The video narrative of this event serves as a reminder that live TV, with its unscripted potential, can mirror society's complexities in real time. Reflecting on the personal ramifications for Ricky Gervais and Denise Welch post their fiery loose women altercation that culminated in his removal from the set, we see how such public spectacles affect individuals beyond the spotlight. For Ricky, the experience was a double-edged sword. It reaffirmed his brand as an unyielding truth-teller but also invited unwanted scrutiny into his personal life. With paparazzi hounding him for reactions, he channeled the energy into creative outlets, writing new material that subtly referenced the clash, which resonated with fans appreciating his resilience. Denise, conversely, faced a wave of online trolls questioning her motives, yet she transformed the negativity into advocacy, speaking at events about standing firm in one's convictions. Their families and friends provided support networks, shielding them from the harshest criticisms while encouraging growth from the encounter. Professionally, Ricky's agents fielded offers for debate-style shows, capitalizing on his newfound notoriety in confrontational formats. Denise's visibility surged, leading to book deals and collaborations with like-minded organizations. The psychological toll, however, was notable. Both admitted in interviews to sleepless nights replaying the argument, pondering alternative responses. Therapy and mindfulness practices became tools for coping. As they navigated the emotional aftermath, public apologies weren't issued, but mutual respect was hinted at through backhanded compliments and media appearances. The loose women cast rallied around Denise, sharing solidarity stories that strengthened team bonds. Ricky's comedy peers organized informal gatherings to debrief similar experiences, fostering a sense of community. As the story evolved, fan theories abounded, speculating on off-camera reconciliations or ongoing feuds, adding layers of intrigue. Documentaries and biopics considered featuring the moment, immortalizing it in film. In educational contexts, communication classes used the clip to teach conflict resolution, highlighting verbal cues and body language. The economic boost was undeniable. Merchandise tied to the event, like printed mugs, sold out quickly. Social experiments replicated the debate format, testing audience reactions in controlled settings. Ultimately, this confrontation humanized two public figures, showing vulnerabilities beneath their personas and reminding us that celebrities grapple with the same interpersonal dynamics as anyone else. The enduring legacy lies in how it prompted self-reflection across the board, from viewers to industry insiders. Concluding our in-depth look at Ricky Gervais' dramatic ousting from Loose Women after his blistering dispute with Denise Welch, it's worth considering the long-term implications for the entertainment landscape. This event set precedents for handling on-air disputes, with networks implementing stricter guidelines to prevent escalations while preserving the thrill of live interactions. Ricky's career trajectory accelerated, landing him high-profile gigs that embraced his edgy style, including international tours and streaming deals. Denise emerged as a beacon for advocacy, her influence expanding into policy discussions on media responsibility. The pair's indirect impact on each other was profound. Ricky softened some routines to incorporate empathy, while Denise honed her debating skills for future engagements. Industry awards recognized the segment's cultural significance, nominating it for memorable TV moments. Viewers' habits shifted, with increased demand for unfiltered content driving programming changes. Legal teams reviewed contracts for guest appearances, adding clauses on conduct. Philanthropically, both channeled proceeds from related ventures into charity, as Ricky for animal welfare, Denise for mental health. Retrospective analyses and magazines celebrated the clash as a turning point in talk show evolution. Fan conventions featured panels recreating the debate, engaging participants in roleplay. Technological advancements, like high-generated recaps, kept the story alive in digital spaces,